In today's video, we'll be taking a look at this robot vacuum from Neabot. Not only is it clever enough just to hoover the whole floor by itself, it even goes back home and empties itself. Let's take a closer look. Don't forget to hit the red button to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and click the notification bell to get my next video first. Now on the channel in the past we've looked at various robot vacuums, some that have mopped the floor, some which have just gone round hoovering up. Do you say hoovering or do you say vacuuming? I say hoovering. I guess maybe it's down to how old you are. Anyway, this one will go round and vacuum the floor. It will then go back to its point of charging and it will then self-empty, which is really quite clever. In the box you've got all of the usual things that you would expect. You've got a comprehensive user guide which is very easy to follow. This one even comes with a remote control which is a little bit like a Fire Stick remote, but it's also got a volume control on, so that's a little bit interesting. I've not seen that before. This is the self-emptying bin which the robot vacuum will then go and dock into, and that will then charge, and this is the vacuum itself. Still love that noise. From my experience with various different models, one of the things to look out for is a good set of wheels. Now this means one which has a great degree of suspension, because that means it will then be able to climb over objects in the way. So for instance little steps or like little lips from chairs for instance. So that's something for you to look out for. Okay, so when it's in its charging point, as you can see, it's fairly neat and tidy and looks pretty good. The other thing that this has is that LiDAR radar scanning technology, which will scan the environment, and that's in that little section there on top. It spins around as it goes, reading and mapping its location. It remembers it so that you can go back and set zones, and I'll show you that in just a second. You need to find a suitable area. It does say that you need around about 1.5 feet either side free, but I found that this space here with around 20 to 30 centimeters was absolutely fine. If you lift up the lid of the bin, then you can see that you've got the bag which stores obviously the dust debris, a little filter which you will probably need to clean from time to time, but this just slots back in. Super simple with no real effort at all. Close the lid and you're ready now to set up. Okay, so you will need to download the Neabot app from your App Store. It's on the Google Play Store and it's also on iOS. Once you've done that, you'll need to then create a quick account. It's free and very straightforward to do, and then you click on the plus button to add the device. You'll then need to link the device to your Wi-Fi. So you do this first of all by pressing and holding the two outside buttons. The lights will flash orange and then your Wi-Fi will be able to pick it up. You'll need to allow it to access your Wi-Fi, so therefore pop in your Wi-Fi password. Okay, so then the app will look for the vacuum and it will then find it and automatically set it up. This whole process is so straightforward. It literally takes just a few seconds. You'll see this screen which will say connecting to your Neabot, and about 1 minute later it will then find it, and it will normally be called Neabot Nomo. You can rename this so that you can then give it different commands at a later date, but now you're connected and it means that you can press the ready to go button and the clean button and it will start that process. So I recommend when you first use your vacuum is that you just let it go. Let it go and use its radar system to scan all of those little nooks and crannies, all of the corners of the room, and you'll be surprised at how intricate this thing is. And when you leave it, it's amazing how much of the area it covers. It really is exceptionally efficient. And when I show you on the map in just a second, you'll see that it doesn't really miss any area at all. And you can see with this room, I've got lots of objects just in the way, obstacles in the way, and it manages to navigate its way in and out using that smart radar sensor on top. As you can see, it's spinning round, and that's what creates the map and then tells it where to go. And if we look at that on the actual app, you can see that you get a live shot as it's moving as to where it's going. Now this isn't quite synced up exactly, but you get the idea. As it moves up and down the room, hoovering up and vacuuming up, it will give you all of the information of where it's been. So with this model, the great thing is that you don't have to keep on emptying it. The bin on these vacuums obviously are very small, but once it's finished covering the area and it goes back to its docking station, it will automatically dock with the station, and then the vacuum within that station will then suck out all of the dust and the debris that it's managed to collect. But guys, it is quite noisy when it does it. Now, I tried to be completely honest and give positives and negatives in my review. One of the things that I did have a couple of times was that when it was trying to get back into the dock, it did struggle a little bit. And as you can see, it's thinking about it, it's going in and out and not quite doing it. Now, I do have to say that the manufacturer's recommendations are that you do have that 1.5 feet either side, and I have chosen not to do that, so it could very well be something to do with that. Now, it did get there in the end, but just took a few attempts to do so. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the app, but there are a couple of nice features on there. One, you can control things like the suction power. There's 3 different levels of the vacuum, and that will obviously have an effect on the energy saving aspect. But here what I'm doing now is what I really like, the fact that you can set zones, and you can obviously set those as rooms. So for instance, a room that doesn't get that much traffic probably doesn't need to be cleaned as often, whereas your main living room will. So therefore you can just set your robot to go off and vacuum the busiest areas of the house. A couple of other things to mention as well is this will work with your Google Assistant and your Amazon Assistant, all via the 2-year app, which is again very straightforward and easy to follow. So that's it, my friends. That is my review on the Neabot robot vacuum with self-emptying bin. It's definitely perfect for me, someone that is so lazy I can't even be bothered hoovering. What do you guys think? Is this something that you'd be interested in? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video as always, my friends, and I'll see you on the next.